Recently, on aboard the Opal Star, the party discovered that a local crime lord had plans to steal the life-saving medicine destined for nearby Valna colony to convert it into a party drug. Everyone agrees that this cannot be allowed to happen, and the package is now due to be delivered on the Opal Star. All they have to do is make sure no one else gets it first. Trying to mime that she's like playing on her phone, it's more like checking emails or messaging someone, like having conversation, like she's waiting for a shipment or something. But yeah, I get that it wouldn't be completely believable with my role.
You get some eyebrows, and there's like some comments about like tending to be on your phone when you should be working and so forth, but doesn't seem to be any concerning type of attention. Paul's taking this as a moment to sort of to see what the package is. Is anyone going to check to make sure there's actually something there?
I think that's what I was going to do.
Okay. Roll me perception.
Would it be perception or investigation? I guess it doesn't matter. Both of them are terrible. But,
Whichever one's higher.
I don't know, perception then. Both these dice have messed me up tonight. Okay. Oh, God. It went off. Okay.
Is it trying to escape?
Yeah, it was trying to escape. 7.
You don't see anything there.
Well, shit.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I notice Anima giving any sort of like reaction, like furrowed brow or something?
I mean, yeah, you can. Also, Anima, are you going to use the comms to maybe mention to someone that you don't see anything?
Do I know what I'm looking for?
You don't know, but just kind of like looking into the slip from where you are, you can't see any sort of thing that looks like a package. It could just be where you're standing, you're not entirely sure, but you ain't seeing anything.
I hear the soft, oh fuck, that she said earlier.
But that in character, Casey.
I don't know.
I don't think it's born yet. I don't. I feel like her actually swearing is going to be.
Anima actually swearing is going to be a thing. Casey swearing is not a thing. That happens more than I probably should.
Don't worry, I edited it out.
Cool.
Because especially now that we know parents listen.
My parents know, I swear. It's fine. It's not fine. But, okay, then I'm going to duck back out and lean against the wall, pull out my comms, and message Vi and say, I don't see anything in the slip. What do?
Because
Because that's where it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this going to be a repeat?
So Vi's gonna I'm gonna message back saying, okay, heading over. And so I'd head over to the stall and just sort of move things around a bit, partially looking for it, partially making it seem like I'm supposed to be there, you know.
As you're walking up, roll perception or investigation.
My perception is a lot higher, so... It's lower than my passive perception.
You can use your passive for this.
Thank you. 16.
Okay, so as you're walking up, you realize that probably part of why Anima didn't see the packages, it was just in the shadows.
Okay, so at that point, I probably mental missive Anima while, like, I'm moving things around in there. Trying to look like I'm just organizing it. I'll mental missive Anima just saying, I found it. It was in a shadow.
Cool, okay.
Have you ever mental missived Anima before?
No.
No!
Anima, how do you react to Vi's voice being in your head?
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, like, the response is also silent, so...
Yeah, but I'm like, She's
boy.
never had that happen before, and I'm so tempted. Anima, roll a performance to see if well you had any reaction to having this in your head. Just suddenly having Mai's voice in your head.
10.
Well,
I'm rolling low tonight, guys. It's a good day. It was going to be a 19, okay? But then it hit the side and it bounced off and it was a 9.
You try and sort of play it off, but there's a moment where you're startled. You've never felt that sensation before, and
Both of my dice are betraying me.
I'm imagining you're all kind of sort of keeping an eye on the crowd, right?
Yes, that's what I've been doing very heavily this whole time.
okay, then yeah, no, Vi's not.
As I say, because you will also buy your messing with the packages, which
Yeah.
it's medical grade containers. They're not particularly big, and there's probably about 4 or 5 of them. It's something that the 3 of y'all could probably carry without issue. They don't look heavy, but they are very well secured. But you
Okay.
can tell someone has tried to sort of like disguise them and make it look not obviously medical.
Okay.
And you see the emblem Tully showed you on the side. But Erda and Anima, roll me a perception check. See who notices things.
That was a 6.
Oh no.
I don't notice anything. Rolled a 4.
Tully does. Tully got an 18.
Good.
Dice jail. Go away. You're in jail now. Both of you go to jail. I don't have any D20s.
So would you like me to roll for you then?
No. Okay. They can come out of jail. They're on double secret probation.
Just put them in dice timeout until you need them again.
They're getting a stern talking to afterwards.
So you hear Tully say over the comms, whatever just happened, Meria was just able to pinpoint 2 of the spotters. I was able to pinpoint a 3rd, and oh, wait, she's here.
Who's here? What's going on, Sally?
No one we've dealt with, someone I'd rather not deal with. Doesn't look like she's making any moves yet. But if you kind of look over your right shoulder, you can see her.
Okay.
Roll perception. You're still kind of standing facing the box.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with my passive perception again, 16.
Roll with advantage, because Tully did kind of point out where to look.
Okay, none of my dice are rolling great, but we'll see.
Bad night for us, guys.
Nope. It's worse. I rolled a 5 and a 3.
How subtle is this person being? Not very. Okay, that's good. So, when you glance over your shoulder, you can tell this person is not trying to be very subtle about her being there. Like a big, brawny lady. Like, Anima is large. She's also large because she's an Ashen Forge. This lady, you get the feeling she's probably Promethean. It's probably genetic because she's about as big and beefy as Anima is. She's got some scars, tattoos, like side-shaved head. She's just kind of watching the crowd. And she doesn't seem to particularly notice that you're in the slip, but roll insight.
Okay.
Would anyone else like to attempt to see who it is that Tully has pointed out?
I'm good.
I'll give it a shot.
If we can go with my passive insight, it's a 14.
You don't think she's noticed you yet, but you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Fair to roll perception to see if you can kind of spot who Tully's talking about.
19.
Yeah, you see the person that Vi also saw, and if you'd like to sort of roll an insight to see if she's noticed you, because she does seem particularly mostly focused on stuff like in the general area of that particular stall. It's not like she's like staring at it.
16.
She's watching the area around the stall. You think perhaps maybe she doesn't know exactly which stall the medicine is in that she's after, but she's watching the area and she doesn't seem to have noticed you guys. Or at least be concerned about your existence. She's occasionally will glance over at Anima, but it's kind of more of a poor awkward child kind of look. More of a sort of amused, wow, they're awkward kind of thing, and less of a this person could be a threat kind of look.
This dumb newbie.
Yeah, basically. And you heard Tali. Yeah, I've never dealt with her, but she's let's not tangle with her. Maria says she has an idea, but why don't we all kind of move closer? The shuttle's on its way. Kind of casually walk over here.
I'm gonna take the long way around, and I'm gonna go put the information console between me and the sketchy person. And once they're blocked out, I'm gonna cast Mask Appearance, and I'm gonna turn myself into a middle management person in that generic uniform, so not specifically affiliated to any company.
Roll me a stealth check to see if you can do that without everyone on the platform noticing that you suddenly are impersonating a dock worker.
Deception?
Stealth.
Or stealth.
Oh, stealth? 16.
Okay. Just barely. I've just been rolling straight rolls for most of the crowd. Just barely. They got a 15.
I would imagine I'm doing it very subtly. Like, I'm already wearing the right shape of clothing, so I'm just changing the color, and then adding the patches, and then slightly shifting my face so that I look more appropriate.
You're able to do that. There's some people who, like, after you're done with shift, kind of, like, look a little surprised. But no one seems to be paying you any particular mind. And Vi, what were you saying?
I'd be messaging Tally and sort of everyone, or sort of like CCing everyone, going, Tally, I understand you don't want to have her be part of the equation if possible, but can you give us any information about her? Because we have a couple of level thugs and then her so far. She seems to be the main threat.
She's an upper level kind of enforcer type. She's the muscle you hire for the job. It's a bit of a mercenary. Like I said, I've never worked with her before. I think Maria says she has. She has an idea if issues happen. I don't know what her stake in this is, but I do know she can do quite a bit of damage, so...
How does she fight? Is it like close range, long range, magic? Any generalities like that? Do you have information, or can you ask Maria?
She's really good at beating the snot out of people with her fists.
Okay, hand-to-hand combat.
In crowded spaces like this, where it's a little hard to get away because there's like people in boxes, it's not a great time. And just kind of casually make your way over here. It's about time to leave. Most of the thugs have not noticed anything yet.
I have a quick question for the DM. So Tally is near, okay, she's also in the stand, correct?
She kind of made her way over and is like kind of like leaning against the wall in the shadows.
Okay.
Ferda and Anima, you're walking your way over. Ferda, you've kind of disguised yourself a little bit. So just, you can roll me your performance, Anima, either performance, stealth, or deception.
The low one on 11.
16.
We got an 11 and a 16. And Vi, as they're walking over here, are you keeping an eye on the crowd, or are you focusing on the package and Tali?
Vi's looking at the crowd. Because she knows where the box is, it's relatively secure. She doesn't know what everyone's crowd's gonna do.
Roll me a perception.
Which of my dice did I trust this time? Alright, perception? Ooh. Passive would be 16. I rolled another 5.
How subtle is she being? You notice the woman that Tully pointed, the one that Tully pointed out to you?
Mhm.
Guys just kind of like lock on to y'all. She's not moving right now, but it's one of those. She knows you're there.
Okay.
She's mostly focusing on Anima and Farida and watching as they start to slowly approach.
Okay, so has she noticed all 4 of us?
Not approaching, by the way. I'm making my way slowly to one of the other people that are dressed like I am. Not enough to call her attention, really. More of a, like, oh, I just happened to be going that way.
She rolled a 17 perception. She does notice you.
Okay.
Sure, I mean, I'm just another dock worker.
She's still kind of glancing at Farida, but in that case, she's mostly focusing on Anima. But every once in a while, she glances over to Farida. Like she knows there's something not quite right about that one dock worker.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So she has definitely seen Farida and Anima.
Yes.
Has she given any indication that she's seen Vi or Tally?
Not particularly, but she's kind of looking that way. And let me... no.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Then I'd probably message Farida and Anima and go, she's noticed you too. Be careful.
So what do y'all do?
Where is the package? What's the package doing right now?
It's sitting on the ground because the shuttle's not arrived yet.
Sitting on the ground, it's multiple boxes.
It's about like 4 or 5 boxes. They're roughly the size, not quite the same shape as a trumpet case.
Okay. I'm intimately familiar with that. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go up to somebody of my similar rank, and I'm going to ask them, hey, I have been told that I'm in charge of moving those boxes. Who all's the group that's in charge of picking it up and moving it to its delivery location?
You're just like walking up and to menu approach. There's just like a moment of, hang on, let me. He pulls up a tablet and starts like flipping through it. Doesn't look like we have anyone currently assigned to it right now. Whoever's coming to pick it up didn't give a whole lot of information, which happens a lot with some of these more security conscious companies, or maybe people who can't quite afford extra help. But if you need an extra set of hands, feel free to grab one of the floaters. He gestures to some of the Port Authority people that are just kind of standing there. Don't look like they're doing anything in particular.
Okay, that sounds good. Just one second. I don't want to say this out loud with my mouth. And then I will mental missive him and say that there's someone really suspicious looking like they want to do something with that package, and they don't look like they're quite authorized to do it.
He's a little shocked by the mental missive, and he just kind of nods. You don't have to have a mental missive to be able to mental missive back, do you, if someone else started it?
It's like message. You can reply to this message once.
It's the equivalent of a cantrip, though, so you can do it as many times as you want.
It shakes his head for a little bit, and you get a response. Can you point them out to me?
Yeah, but I need to kind of disguise it. They were looking at me with a little bit of stink eye. So it's the opposite direction to where I point, and I point in the opposite direction to where my elbow is pointing back at the assassin person.
Okay, understood. They've been here for a while. Don't seem to be causing any trouble, but I'll let the rest of the guards know to keep an eye on them.
I appreciate it. I'm going to start moving those packages then.
She does not notice. She sucks at perception right now.
Alrighty, then I'm going to go ahead and get some of those floaters moving stuff. Thank you.
So she's too busy watching Anima and sort of watching for any other activity around the flip. And
thank you, Anima. You provided the razzle-dazzle.
Cool.
also, Vi, like, as he's doing this, are you watching her in particular in the crowd, or just kind of like you're keeping an eye in her general direction, right?
Here's the thing. Vi wouldn't want to focus on her so much that she loses sight of the other thugs.
I don't know if you've particularly spotted them yet, but like if you watch the crowd long enough, you can see like a couple of people who look a little out of place, and they're just sort of scattered throughout. And Holly may have, since you're near her, just kind of like subtly pointed out a couple of them. But you're keeping an eye at least near her, right?
Yeah. I do want to know what she's up to, what she's doing.
Okay. I just decided to roll against your passive perception.
My passive is 16.
So you kind of catch out of the corner of your eye, she pulls out a SIB unit, and it looks like she reads a message. Then her eye is locked immediately on the slip, on the stall that you're in. She's been leaning up against something this whole time. She just kind of like straightens up. She's not moving, but she's definitely looking.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe starting to take like a couple steps towards you. Do you say anything to anyone?
Yeah, I would say I message them subtly saying she just found out what slip the medicine's in and she's slowly heading our way.
Messaging on the comms or mental missive? Oh wait, mental missive is not a group thing. I think you can just do one, so it'd have to be comms.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make it look very subtle. So if you need me to roll like a stealth or something, I can do that.
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand? Yeah, I can do that. Well,
Yeah, either one.
I'm gonna say I have better stealth than sleight of hand, but oh no, my dice are going to betray me. Yep. Okay, that is a 15. That's not as bad as I was dreading.
Okay. Hang on, I need to bring up, like, actual character sheet thing.
Oh boy. Casey, there's a d20. There's a way to roll a d20 online.
I know.
Okay. Currently rolling better than my other die, so.
Yeah, she didn't notice you sending the mental missive, but since you and Tali are both standing in the slip, like, she recognizes that there are people there.
Okay.
She hasn't really put two and two together that you're not, like, random dock workers supposed to be there. So she's starting to walk towards you, and you hear on the comms, Maria. Okay, well, don't panic too much. It would help if everyone could continue making your way back. We're almost there, but I'm going to try something. We have a bit of a repertoire in a way. We work together, and perhaps I could strike some sort of bargain with her. Stay calm and get back to the package. I'll get back to you.
Has she noticed Vi yet? I mean, I'm guessing she has, hasn't she? She hasn't necessarily noticed Pally.
She can see that there are people in the stall, but she doesn't seem overly concerned just because there's, like, people in and out doing a lot of things, so...
Okay.
It's like, she knows there are living people, like, there are a couple of living people in that area, but she hasn't seemed to notice that you're not a dock worker.
Okay.
I have a question. How will a shuttle does it go, like, into the slip? Is that how this works?
You know how when you're loading stuff onto a truck, a lot of times, like, the truck will back up to, like, the sort of docking area until it's flush with it, and then you move the stuff onto the truck?
Yes.
It's kind of like that. So there's, like, a little drop-off area where the shuttle can pull up to, and there's been, like, ships coming in and out, and you recognize one of the shuttles that's starting to approach is the one from the Opal Star. You want to stand in the front of the stall to keep her from getting, like, with the medicine and the loading area behind you.
I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm looking for a fight about it. I'm just going to be like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I am a guard.
You're just going to go and do guard duty.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll performance for that, because that anima has been a guard before. Was her whole purpose for the past, 5 years?
I think it was 4 that we decided on, wasn't it?
4 or 5. Somewhere in between there.
It was 4. Anyway, I'm not going to let on that I know that someone is about to come steal it, but this is just like, I'm going to be security, I guess.
I see her doing that and get her involved in my kind of accumulation of people to help move the thing. As I get some of the floaters, and maybe I flag her down as a guard.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, Farida, how are you approaching these floaters to get them to help?
With a relative amount of confidence. I've been spending most of my time, besides watching, the sketchiness around the package, trying to pay attention to the way that the people that are dressed as I am are operating. So I'll walk up and I'll be like, hey, I need at least 3 of you to help me move this package that's back here.
Persuasion.
That is 14.
Yeah, there was some high DC, so there's like, yeah, alright. And he waves over a couple of more. Where's this package?
It is over here in between the 2 black lines.
It's over in insert slip number here.
Yes. Insert flip number here. And then I'm going to flag down Anima, and I'm going to kind of go through the charade of explaining, hey, I need a guard, there's a sketchy person over there. We already know this. I might not even actually say anything. I'll probably just say, literally, I'm going through the charade of, this is in a low voice, I'm going through the charade of telling you that I know that there's somebody looking at this thing. I need a guard to help these people out, make sure that nothing sketchy happens.
Vi, what are you doing while they do this?
Vi's probably still moving packages. She's probably trying to slowly move the medicine ones closer to where the shuttle will be, so that it can be moved faster. That hopefully it'll be more of a pick up, pivot, turn your body and then place it. So it can be a bit faster than having to walk from one end to the other. But she's also kind of organizing it while making it look like she's organizing it.
Okay.
But she hasn't stopped working. So she's still looking.
Roll me a performance, and also your passive perception. You would have known some of the other thugs Tally's pointed out earlier. They seem to be also kind of looking your way, so you think they probably got the same message too.
Okay. So while doing that, also probably use the comms and say the thugs are also know which slip. Okay, that's much better. That is said performance?
Yes.
That's a 16. I rolled very high.
Okay, so none of the thugs question, and the woman doesn't question either. Your charade is so convincing that I think you're just some dock worker moving stuff. As you say that, Ray's gonna be well, I'm afraid there's not much I can do about those, but I think I've about reached an agreement with our other friend. And as she says this, if you can glance up and see the woman with the scars and the tattoos, she's stopped, and it looks like she's kind of messaging, and she'll just kind of glance up, and at one point you briefly make eye contact, but she doesn't seem really concerned.
Okay.
And would you like to roll an insight?
Yeah, let's try this again. Please be nice. Oh, yay. Insight, that's a 23.
Doesn't seem overly concerned when you make eye contact with her.
Okay.
Just sort of a brief look up, and then she looks back down, but also you've watched people sort of reading through deals before.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Miss saying, she's interested. She hasn't decided yet, but she does seem very interested.
Okay.
You also possibly know, the thugs are starting to move in. They're not close enough where there's immediate concern, but they're starting to move.
You probably see my gaggle of dock workers moving their way towards helping to move the medicine.
Let's see how they're not particularly perceptive. They're just focused on, we need to grab whatever it is we're supposed to grab and beat the crap out of anyone who gets it away. They're not the brightest bunch. They're still moving in. They're not actively aggressive, but they're starting to move closer. Some of them are. Not all of them. Some are kind of staying in their spot, but you can tell they are definitely watching.
Yeah. Is Tally just still sort of standing in the shadows, or is she doing anything?
She's helping you kind of move stuff around, and you hear her muttering under her breath. It's to be a nervous habit. Her little tail is twitching a little bit. It's like she's nervous, but she's more focused than you've seen her before. But also very alert.
Have we moved the boxes enough that we're between them and incoming thugs?
Yeah. You've moved them enough, and the shuttle from the Opal Store, which you've been on it before, you know what it looks like. It's gotten close enough, and you can see that. Actually, don't know who would they have. I think Ty's piloting it.
Okay.
I imagine there's a bit of relief seeing your large lizard friend really approaching, and he smoothly sort of settles down the ship and settles down the shuttle, and the door starts open. He's like, and he says, "Shall we begin to load?"
I will stroll up with my gaggle of lifting guys, and we'll set to picking up the packages.
Okay.
Dock workers, you're lifting friends. I'm gonna be guard duty.
Okay. So I imagine, are you focusing on the lady who's the one Holly pointed? Actually, if you noticed,
My passive perception is 12.
oh, she's not been entirely subtle. So you do notice the person that everyone else noticed earlier, and she's just kind of standing there messaging back and forth with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And she, every once in a while, just kind of looks up at you, and there's a moment of, huh. It's almost like she's like, oh, that's why the weird one's here. And she just goes back to her messaging back and forth. And Ferda, your dock worker friend, start loading the boxes onto the shuttle.
Alrighty, man, it goes in that one right there. Don't worry about it, Ty. You can hang out next to the driver's seat. I don't want anybody thinking that they can get away with this thing.
Fair enough. He seems vaguely confused at first, but hang on. He gathers that you're Ferda, and you see Tali muttering something, and Decom.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't recognize me. Okay, so I actually do have an explanation for this, and a solution. As we approach the shuttle, because I'm guessing Anima might be also questioning who this random person is, because it's not Ferida, but I was doing the convincing thing, and I also told you I was doing the charade, so maybe you thought that I was an extra person that was in on this? I will change my face back to undercover face, while still leaving the uniform up.
Okay, so you take the disguise self face off, leaving just the earring disguise face.
Yes, leaving the earring disguise face, but still wearing the uniform for mask appearance.
You're like the nesting doll of disguises.
And all the dog workers.
They're focused on their boxes. I'm doing this specifically for the talking to Ty. It's just like drop the face. Hi, this is me. You know who I am.
Okay, because if you hadn't, the DC was about to be low, and that was about to get really awkward really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, just the both like, who the hell are you? You get some weird looks, but they're also focused.
I'm sure they've seen weirder things here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm imagining this is kind of like the Men in Black shuttle port in Men in Black 2, where it's just all sorts of weird stuff is moving around.
Yeah, and they're just people who like to have different sort of like weird magic things, and it does weird things, so they might speak to some of their higher ups about like, did we get someone new? But right now they're just like, okay, let's just do our job and figure out what's going on later.
Yeah.
Vi, what are you doing?
Once the dock workers are probably there, Vi's probably moved closer to the sort of entrance, away from it, still like pretending to move boxes, but pretending to like move them out of the way. But she would probably be relatively close to the sort of, I guess, entrance.
You're moving closer to where Anima is?
Yeah. Just trying to like keep a lookout.
Are you keeping an eye on the mysterious lady who likes to beat the snot out of things with her fists?
You said that she was, at least before, that she was looking up, sort of just standing there messaging someone, correct?
Yeah, so it's like she glances up every once in a while. It's kind of like she's taking stock, but she's been messaging back and forth with someone, and you can actually see a lot of the thugs are kind of looking to her.
Okay.
Kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? But they seem to be getting impatient.
Okay, then I would probably be looking more at the thugs because I would sort of be under the impression that Meria is at least talking to her enough that she's at least somewhat dealt with, somewhat preoccupied. So, like, I would probably glance at her, but my attention would be more focused at the thugs who Maria is not in contact with.
So, at one of the times when you glance up at her, like, you can tell, like, the thugs are... They realize that something is not going according to plan, and you aren't sure if they think that they were screwed out of a job or what's going on, but you kind of glance over to her to see if she's giving any signals, and she just kind of immune it up and makes, like, direct eye contact with you. She's not, like, close enough to where you could easily have a conversation. Hear a voice saying, next time. She turns away and starts to sort of go towards the entrance. And you hear Marie over the comms. And that is you negotiate with a mercenary.
Okay. Now we just need to worry about these low-level thugs.
Looking at the thugs. Seeing what the thugs are doing.
As they see her starting to kind of walk away, you see her kind of zero in on one of them. They realize that, yes, this is very much not gone according to plan, whether it's the boss screwed us or someone else. They don't care. They're just pissed and they want their money. But she kind of zeroes in on, starts to face off against her, and they start moving towards the rest of you. At this point, most of the packages have been loaded on board.
Oh, thank you, boys, for doing this work. I really appreciate you helping us out.
I would probably use the comms to everyone, going real quick, just being like, Maria convinced the one lady to sort of stand down, but all the other thugs except one are now heading our way, and they are pissed.
Yeah.
Be the lifting, boys.
There's probably about 2 or 3 of them, and the mysterious ladies going up to one, and you hear Spectra. I think the local security. No, you should be there for a few seconds. Just get back to the shuttle. They'll take care of it. And at this point, the friend has walked up to one of the thugs, who actually I don't know if he's focused on her, but he's I think focused on you guys. She just walks up and clocks him in the face, and he drops.
Look at that! There seems to be a fight starting up.
She turns towards one of the other ones that's approaching you. And the whole time she's shouting, "They're thieves! A bunch of thieves!"
Who is she shouting at, saying there are thieves? The thugs or us?
Insight.
Guards.
Well, she's not calling the guards thieves, so who's she calling thieves?
She's shouting to the guards. She's like, "Bunch of thieves!"
So she's yelling about the thugs.
I don't know who's she yelling about. I mean, she did just deck one of them, but you rolled me an insight. Who do you think she's talking about?
Oop, that's gonna be a 6.
She's probably talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What'd you get?
Oh, I didn't roll. You said it's insight?
Basically, anyone who heard can roll.
And it's insight? Let's see.
Yeah.
14.
Pretty sure she's turning on her old comrades because Maria just bought her off. And Anima, would you like to roll an insight check as well?
Sure, what's my insight?
I don't know what you're...
0. So I rolled a 13.
Like Vi, you're pretty sure she just is planning on selling out her old comrades, but also just... You hear from time. Okay, guys, it's all loaded. We should get on the shuttle, like, now? Before this gets messy?
Okay,
Alright, let's do it.
Says as she's on the shuttle.
I'm back in.
Yeah, I go in.
Verda.
I also go in.
I go in backwards. I'm keeping eyes on people.
I will say thank you to the boys, tell them that they might get a raise after this because, they did a good job and they didn't ask any questions.
You get a lot of eyebrows after that.
I mean, I've already turned around and I'm already getting on the ship, so.
Oh, why do I have a big bruise on my leg?
Don't you always, for some one reason or another?
Generally, but I don't remember getting this one, and it's really big, and it hurts really bad.
I think that's also happened before as well.
It's not that big.
Okay.
So wasn't that because of your bike?
Yeah, that one was. This one is not. I haven't ridden my bike in a while. There's nowhere to ride here.
Ah, that is an unfortunate truth. So, I'm going to work on smoothing things over, but to get back soon, Ty's like, yeah, let's get ladies.
Alright.
So you load up onto the shuttle, and is anyone giving a sort of a last look to what's happening at the docks?
I already said I was walking into the shuttle backwards to keep eyes on people.
I was gonna say Vi was also probably looking.
I mean, I'll jump on, but then I might look back.
As you're watching, you see the Port Authority and like station security starting to target the thugs. The woman has taken out another one, and is like once she kind of notices that the other two are basically about to be like. Actually, no. When you look back, she's taken out all of them. They're all just kind of knocked unconscious on the ground. And she just kind of, as you look, he gives you a nod and disappears into the crowd. By the time the station security gets there, there's just the 4 thugs knocked out on the ground, along with the datapad. You're not entirely sure what's on the datapad, but the shuttle is on its way back. And Tally's like, well, that was exciting. I never thought I'd work with her.
That was certainly something. I'm glad we were able to pull it off, though.
I'm just glad we weren't arrested.
Agreed.
I messaged Maria through the comm, just kind of like, exactly what did you promise her? She just turned on her old associates.
I don't think they were really her associates. She sometimes works with whoever she has to work with. I promised her a fair amount of money, and that I would be using her services sometime in the future. I promised a way for her to get off planet. Not on the Opal Star, of course. Spectra would kill me, but be getting off planet somewhere more useful. And hoping to be able to find a way to hire her at some point, but Zero's a little hard to find.
Okay.
As you're piloting away, Tolly's busy sort of like checking on canisters and like checking everything. She's like, okay, good, okay, ready to get back on the ship and get going to the colony, because I don't know how long they've been eating this medicine.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Let's go.
As she's saying this, like, you can see the Opal Star just sitting there waiting. You can see there's like a flurry of activity going into the docks. Once again, you are driving away as police shuttles are starting to go. Yes, y'all did it. Okay, hang on, let me. Starts to trail the shuttle. Ellie's like, hey, Spectra, add attention. I want to can to smooth it over, but get back onto the ship. Now, can ask forgiveness later. We need to get out of here. And as she's saying that, the shuttle is docking onto the Opal Star. And Tally's like, alright, well, we're on. Give me a second. I can leave the medicine on the shuttle for now until I'll get up to the helm, because we might need to jump soon.
Okay.
And as she says that, she's prancing very quickly up the ladder, up towards the helm. I assume you all follow.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll follow up to the helm, settle in your regular seats, and you notice that the Belair is standing on the helm for the first time. The light inside of him, right inside of him, is very energetic, very happy. Like earlier when you felt the emotions from him, it's like kind of strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more gentle, but you definitely feel like a sort of I'm glad to see you kind of sensation. You can tell the difference between that feeling and your personal feelings. There's just like a brief little I'm glad to see you, glad you're safe kind of sensation. He's standing there running one of the consoles as everyone's getting up. It's like, and Spectra looks back. Very well done. You know that's a bit more of what we tend to do here aboard the Opal Star, but let's get out of here just in case he had some backup plans or whatever ship he was planning to load it onto or anything. I've got the coordinates for the location of the Valna colony. It'll take about a day to get there, but once we jump, I will send them an alert letting them know we're coming, and everyone else involved in the Alliance knows we're there. She's saying this as she's piloting out of atmosphere. And you're able to get out without any issues. Guy's been pretty, distracted by stuff at the comms. You can tell he's managing multiple conversations, because it's not the cleanest exit y'all have had from a planet, given that you've caused 2 different incidents. I mean, well, to be fair, this one wasn't as much your fault. Just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, shuttle was registered to show up. It was just under a different name, correct?
It just didn't say it belonged to the Opal Star.
Oh. Okay. Well, alright.
Well, it was more of they don't always give a lot of information, but if you take time to sit down and dig through it, the Opal Star does have some connection to a subsidiary of the organization it said it was for.
Okay.
Once there's time to relax, Spectra will explain that what she registered it under was she had a lot of people working on building the Opal Star, and they all work at different companies. So she sometimes uses those company names to make it less obvious for certain things, because sometimes not having everyone knowing exactly who you are and why you're there is a good thing.
Okay.
But the companies are okay with it. They're all owned by her cousins and old friends.
Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned next time to find out what happens on board the Opal Star. If you don't want to wait, you can get early access to our episodes over at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. If you like our show, please consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcasting app so people can know where to find us. We couldn't do this without your help. Aboard the Opal Star is a production of Pseudonym Social, changing reality one story at a time. It is DM'd and produced by me, Brianna Toiber.
I'm Casey, and I'm playing Anima the Ashen Forged.
Victor, and I'm playing Farida the Promethean.
My name is Alexis, and I am playing Mylena Sorrell, the Eldori.
With music by Patrick Chester of Chester Studios. To get more information on this or any of our other shows, check out our website at pseudonymsocial.wordpress.com.